And I just had myself muted that entire time. So we're gonna pretend that didn't happen and redo it.
Oopsie.
The cast heard it though, right? It was great.
Yeah, it was very good.
It was fantastic, really.
It's gonna be really hard to top that, Maggie.
We'll do it again. I'm gonna see if I can remember it. Oh, fail. Hello everyone, welcome to the Space Viking Chronicles. I'm Margaret Krohn, and we are joined by a whole slew of new people and standalone if you've been following our journey in Dungeons & Dragons, as this is a persistent world that we're playing in, and Baz has joined us previously. There may have been some things that happened. Were you the one that almost got choked by your own hair? He has himself muted, but yes, he was. I'm gathering by the head nod, he was.
Yeah. Zoom's not cooperating with me hitting my unmute button tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ooh.
It's giving you a little bit of a hassle. Maybe it doesn't want you to talk.
I get that a lot.
Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're going to be doing. I'm first going to let everybody kind of talk about who they are so you guys can get to know all of these new peeps. And if you don't do content creation, you can also just talk about how long you've been a Space Viking or anything else you want to bring up today, what you ate. I don't know. Just let me know. Something. Give me something. And then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of the campaign tonight. And you guys as viewers are going to be able to get in on the action as well. You don't just get to stand by and watch like normal streams. Nope. We are raising money for the kids at St Jude, and this is what we've been doing for very many weeks. We are doing this in order to raise $25,000. That is our goal this year. Pending how long that takes us, we will get there. Our next milestone is $6,200 because you guys are amazing and we made it over our $5,000 mark. So I can't even express how freaking fantastic that is and how much you are helping the kids at St. Jude. But over here in the right hand corner, you can see if you do !St Jude, $5 gives somebody an inspiration. Make sure you tell me who you'd like it to go to, or I get to pick. $10 gives somebody a natty 1 or a natty 20, and make sure you are clear on which one you would like to give and who you'd like to give them to, otherwise I will choose. And of course we have $15 for a wild magic surge, and those are always crazy. That is why Baz's character was getting murdered by his own hair and then revived by it. 'Cause that's a thing that can happen.
Talk about a bad hair day.
I think it's beyond a bad hair day. That was a pretty good one, Derp. And of course, $20 gives somebody a magic item. Same as per usual, let me know who you'd like the magic item to go to, but I get to choose what the magic item is. You can kind of sway it if you have some ideas, but I will usually choose to make sure that it fits what's happening, otherwise it gets a little too chaotic. I gotta rear something back in, otherwise we don't have a story that makes sense. I've somehow made stories that make sense with all this chaos that has gone on. And then $30 adds a threat, and a threat does not always mean a monster that comes in and attacks people. It can also be, for instance, they almost had a brawl in the bar because someone thought someone bumped into them, and I've also buffed monsters because I've given them extra things as a threat, or I've changed them to be the lady that they thought they were helping get the kids from. So, you know, all kinds of fun things can happen. But before we start, we're going to go around clockwise and kind of meet our lovely cast here. So first and foremost, we have Werkitty, aka Werewolf, in chat. You guys may know Werewolf from the many previous weeks where he messed everyone else up. So I'm really hoping somebody else gets back at you. How are you doing today, Werewolf? And tell the people about you and what you do, or whatever you want. Tell us something about Werewolf. Who you be?
Hi, I'm Werewolf. Well, I'm Werkitty on Twitter, and that's about it. Literally.
You joined us from how did you find out about our channel?
Roll for it through Enter Lithium, so and so on.
And the cycle of life begins. See, this is why word of mouth is such an important thing. And sharing the love as content creators. If you share the love with other people, it will come full circle. That's why I love hosting people who just don't expect it, because it's probably the coolest gift. When people host me and I don't expect it, it's like the coolest thing ever. And of course, next, you might know this person, as she also streams quite a bit. Caitlin, tell us a little bit about you. Not your character yet, just you.
Not my character, just me. Okay. Can I just talk about knowing you? So,
You
I've known
do
Maggie.
whatever you want, man. This is your spotlight time.
This campaign's gonna be kind of hard, this episode, because I feel like in every game we played, even, remember that, like, vampire one we played?
You played in a vampire one?
Yeah, it was a one-shot.
The vampire one?
Dodger was in it?
You're that forgettable,
Oh,
apparently.
it's really old.
No, I know we did an apocalypse one, but with
yeah,
Dodger, but there was no vampires that I know of.
Yeah, I don't think we got to that point. Yeah, I guess it was like zombies. They went with zombies instead.
There were zombies.
I feel like every single campaign we've been in, like our characters have fallen madly in love. So, yeah. So I guess we'll just like aim for an NPC or something this time.
You know what? You're welcome to do so. There is somebody who might be not have a lady friend anymore because the previous party might have murdered his wife. Rip Mrs. Shoe Polish.
All right, I'll slide in then. I'll take this spot.
Depending on what you guys do.
Seamless.
Seamless. It'll be fine. Next, but not least, is Baz, aka Standalone. How you doing?
Hey, doing well. I don't do anything interesting, but hey, I'm usually hanging out in Maggie's chat and the Discord. Come say hi if you want.
Yes, say hi to Stan. He's awesome. And
I'm
the
alright.
final one, Varys, aka... Oh, I thought I put your name in here, and then it didn't save it. Derp.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. It has you as Nate's characters, or Nate's name. It has your name, though, your character's name. But not...
It's
your handle. It's fine, I'll fix it while you tell people about how amazing you are.
Right, so I do a lot of things. I am probably most well known as head moderator and video editor for both Enter Elysium and Roll For It. You might be able to see like a little corner of an Elysian flag over there. So that's where I spend most of my days. That's why I'm up at 4 in the morning. It's
I need a
silly
space
times.
Viking flag. It's making me
You
think.
do. No flag, no claim.
I gotta get mooshing on that
Anyway.
flag action.
Yeah, exactly. I also do my own things, because I don't have enough to do at the moment. I have a YouTube channel and a Twitch channel, both are at Derp Digital, but those are currently kind of on the wayside because life and things and just busy.
I feel you on that, man. That's I'm always like, ugh, too many things. I don't even know how I'm managing it, so I can understand that.
Yeah, like Roll For It and EE has like a bigger reach, so I tend to prioritize that. Maybe I shouldn't, but you know.
Depends on what you want in life, man. You gotta think about you first, Derp. Think about you first. Although, I really want you to keep doing stuff for Roll For It, because we need it. I appreciate everything that you do for us, because you do a lot, so it's awesome.
I like how the Roll For It admin chat slowly turned into me yelling to you guys to go to sleep and like take care of
the
yourself.
moderator
and
chat?
It just flipped into you guys yelling at me to take care of myself.
This is true, this is true. Well, we have a lot of wild magics that are going to kick things off. So thank you, Tech Priest, and thank you, Nate, for throwing things at us. But we're going to hold on to those, and we'll start adding them as we get in here, because I'd like to at least start the story with some semblance of non-chaos. And then we'll just let the chaos roll, and I'm very excited to find out what happens, because there's a lot of money going to be coming your guys' way as far as wild magics go. And if you haven't been watching the previous campaigns, you're in for a ride. So
Well,
now that you've
I
gotten
haven't really had a chance to. It's a bit early in the morning.
Oh well, then you're gonna have fun, Rick, because it is a lot of fun. So we'll start things off, and then we'll get to meet all the characters. We're actually gonna start in the inn. Every week we start in the same place, this little town called Gliptville. It has a major inn that most people go to. Everyone knows of the inn. And there are some shops that are around. There's some housing. It's not really a residential space, but there are residential houses outside of the main town area. There's a pathway to the northwest that comes into the town, and a pathway to the south that also comes in and out of the town. The pathway to the south has not been used recently because there's a very weird thing going on in the forest out there. It's kind of dangerous. Those who path through there usually do not return. So the town has been quickly rallying heroes from all over the lands to come figure out what is causing gross, cursed nastiness that's happening in the forest. Basically, the trees are wilted. Some of them look like they're drained of life, but people say they're living. They're pale and kind of knotty and brambly, and something is definitely not right. We're starting the session off with 11 wild magics. Great, guys. Looks like we got some more. So we'll be kicking it off really, really hot and on fiery.
So much for that coherent story you were going to try to make.
Well, we'll see. So that's kind of what's going on. There has been word of missing children. There's been missing cattle. There's all kinds of things that have been going wrong in this town. But the primary thing is that there are missing children and that there's like some kind of weird darkness in the forest down in the south. Now, our first hero that we're going to talk to is actually going to be in the inn right now, and that is Baz. Baz, describe your character for us, for those who maybe have never seen your character before.
Well, he used to look like an orc until wild magic got to him, and now apparently he looks like some dork from a faraway land. Was it dweeb?
Weeb. It was a weeb.
Yeah. So I'm
Dweeb.
thinking that,
Weeb? It doesn't matter.
I think it was dweeb. But I'm thinking he basically just looks like me now.
He's even wearing his garb. I don't know if you guys can really tell because he's in a little spaceship, but it's cute.
And he's still wearing his iron mask, as he used to be a prisoner. And he has really shiny silvery teeth. Also from wild magic.
When you look at his teeth, they kind of look like when he smiles, it looks like he has mirrors on his teeth. You can actually like see your own reflection as if it looks like a mirror. Can you tell people a little bit about your class, maybe? Things like that.
Yeah, Boz is a fighter, battle master specialty. And he likes to hit things with big weapons.
And why did you come to the town originally?
Because, well, it links to his iron mask. He was a prisoner for treason, which it was something that he did, yeah. He gave a bad command to the troops that he was in charge of. He had like a small squad, and he thought that he knew better than the general that gave the initial order and ended up getting most of his men killed. So he was sent to be executed, and he had been wearing the iron mask in the prison. It has a small insignia of a wilted rose, because he fought for the Rose Court, and they decided that they could actually make use of him because he's still a skilled fighter. They told him that he could regain his honor by going into these woods where one of the members of the Rose Court had gone, who had a valuable artifact of the family, and he hasn't returned. So Boz is trying to either find the noble or at least bring the blade back.
Yes. And recently, Baz has been kind of a hero of the town. There was a battle with fire elementals that happened in the middle of the town. There's actually a painting of the battle on the wall inside of the inn, and the inn looks very new and refurbished. There's new tables and new chairs, and they actually match. Before they didn't. The roofing on the inn is actually almost completely fixed. The only part that's not fixed is the chimney bit where the fireplace is hooked up with it. So the fireplace doesn't quite work yet, but it's in progress of working. But the roof is fully refurbished until something explodes it again. And there's been a lot of hustle and bustle and business happening around that. Now, something else that has been happening with Baz is that for the last couple weeks, actually probably a week and a half, you have been rallying people because you have created a new religion. Do you want to talk about your religion a little bit? This is also
Yeah.
a wild magic thing.
Yeah. Well, because of that battle, because he was fairly certain he was going to die in that battle, because he kind of did a bunch. He got knocked down a lot.
Yeah.
Because of people donating, you died a lot? I just want to know for like future reference.
Caitlin's afraid. She's like, what did I get myself into?
I know
We're
it
taking
might become
notes.
a book, so
That was definitely part of it. The first time Boz died was because of a random hailstorm. And yeah. So that was interesting, which it also then had to revive him because of a earlier wild magic.
I think you're the only one who has really died, though.
Yeah, I did enough dying for everyone. Well, Roxy explodes.
Yeah, Roxy explodes. That is, she doesn't really die though. She just explodes. It's very weird and reformulates. It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Right now she's sludge, I think, at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Things
so-
things about other characters who are in the world right now.
Yeah.
Bird stories, yeah.
So the religion that Boz has formed, is calling it the Church of the Redeemed, and well, because of his his past, he's all about trying to prove that you can redeem yourself, I guess. And he believes that the cleric who we were mentioning, who explodes on full moons now, I don't think Boz knows about that yet. He believes that she was sent to help, turn the tide of that battle. So Helm is currently his primary god, which is the god of the cleric. And so, yeah, he's been gathering people that feel that they need to be redeemed. They feel that they've done something wrong in the past and need to atone for it.
Perfect. Yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on, and Baz has been rallying people. There's a small area in town. It's not quite a church yet or anything like that, but it is a place of worship where people have come and placed candles down for the lost children. There's little paintings of the kids that are there. Some people have just left little gifts and things like that as well at this little station where they can kind of pray, and they pray together sometimes. And this is what you've been working on, Baz. That's what you've been doing. Right now you're enjoying a nice warm meal at the inn, and the innkeeper is hanging out, and there's barmaids there. There's a few other patrons that are in the restaurant as well. Or the inn, not restaurant. And now we're gonna slowly meet our cast. So, Werewolf, we're gonna start with, is it Balak? Is that how we pronounce your character's name?
Balagish.
Balak.
Magic
what?
item to Caitlin.
Gish.
Gosh. Balak Gish. Okay.
Mhm.
Tell us what Balak Gish looks like.
He's a large golden dragonborn. Very, well, large. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, I think you have 7
Um,
feet and 1 inch tall and
Mhm.
293 pounds. He's a very large dragonborn.
He's very muscled. He's got a large scar over basically the side of his face down to the chin after a training exercise, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Everything I've done.
Why do you think you came to the town?
I think he came to the town. He came to the town because he heard about the trouble, and he's a upstart noble. He's this his father's not like the noble, but so he's trying to prove himself.
Okay. You're trying to prove yourself worthy of something, but what is that you're trying to prove yourself worthy of? Like your father's affection?
More of of his nobility, of his that he's worthy to be a noble.
Okay. It's like the rite of passage kind of going off and bringing back something to make your name and legacy worth it, right? A little bit of pride, maybe. Okay. So being a noble, I would assume that you kind of have a carriage or something that's taking you along the path. As you've gone on this path, it's been probably, I'm gonna say, a 12-day journey for you. It has been quite some time. Being a noble, you're actually from a way farther land than anyone else that has been around. So 12 days of travel for you with a very fine carriage, and along the way you've actually been seeing some weird things. There was a moment where all of the trees had disappeared and things were just kind of oddly gone, and slowly things started fading back into what you could see as existence. It's very strange. There was a time where there was a bunch of birds who just started exploding around you. Not like a lot, but any birds that you did see that was happening, and they were making loud screeching noises and you weren't really sure and certain of what was going on. So as you get closer and closer to this town, you're just seeing all these strange things happening, and it's kind of reiterating to you why you're out here. You're like, I heard that there was weird stuff happening here. I must be along the right way. We must be going the right way. At one point, the carriage driver, who is not a fighter of any sort, he literally just drives the carriage, almost wanted to turn back, and you had to, like, you know, get to him to continue moving forward. Whether it was through money or might that you used to intimidate him, you were able to continue to get him to ride along, and you continued your journey, and you made it to the town. As you enter the town, there is a large sign to the right of you that says Flipville. It looks like it's made out of stone. At one point, maybe the plants that were around it were well kept, but recently it looks like no one has really been gardening much in that area, so some of the plants are a little bit overgrown, but you can see that the sign does say Flipville. To the left of you, there is a large stable that has about 3 or 4 slots for different types of creatures. There's a griffin in one, there's 2 horses in the other, and there's one that is empty as well. You come through into the town, and that is what you see initially. Is there something that you're going to look for specifically as you enter?
No, he more looks around, taking in the sights for the start.
Okay. Yeah, you take in the sights, and you look around. Roll me a 1d10,000. We're gonna start it off. We have a lot to go through. We've got to thank Tech Priest Con, Nate 2150, Angel Ray, which is giving some wild magics as well. Nate for natty ones for everybody. So if you can all mark that you have natty ones, you can basically do in your resources, there's like a little plus, you can add a plus, and you can write resources for natty ones and natty 20s. You have to use those up first, and then you can use normal rolls. So it's not like an option to choose it whenever you want. You have to use them up first. So everyone starts off with a natty 1. So keep that in mind when you do your first. Yeah, hooray! And that is thank you to Nate 2150 for that. And Joras, I did get your note there. I will be adding that into play at some point. And then MT Ever Stand, I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right. Thank you. We'll be adding that in as well. Slowly but surely. All right, 5,984. Let's bring it in. And for those of you who are new, I'm using Pathfinder stuff, so I kind of will be altering it a little bit. Makes sense for our campaign, but I love it. It's so much fun. 5,984. 984. So, as you look out in your what were you looking for exactly?
Taking in the sights.
Yeah, you're taking in the sights, and you're looking around, and all of a sudden you feel something like wet. Do you wear gloves?
Yes, he wears gloves.
Yeah, the tips of your gloves feel wet on both of your hands. Are you going to take your gloves off?
Yes.
Yeah, you take one glove off, and you see at the tips of your fingertips you're just bleeding, and it's not stopping. But oddly, you don't feel pain. It's just blood is coming out from your fingernails, and that continues to happen. Do you want to make your way into the inn, or is there something that you want to do specifically?
I start heading into the inn.
Okay. Yeah, the guy who's riding the carriage drops you off at the inn. You walk into the inn, and he trots off with the horses and puts them into the stable. Now, you walk into the inn. The door is quite smaller than you. You're 7 feet tall, so you kind of have to crouch down, and you crouch in. You see, as you walk in, it actually feels really homely, like a nice log cabin, but it is an inn. To the right of you is a bar with a bunch of bar stools, and there's an innkeeper who's kind of taking notes next to something. There's some bar maids who are cleaning stuff, and there's a barkeep as well he's like cleaning some dishes or something. There are to the left of you about 6 or 7 tables with a bunch of chairs around them as well, and quite a few patrons who are sitting around. To the far left of you, as you right when you walk in the door, there is a large board, and this board is a message board. It has a bunch of things on it. It looks like that's perhaps where you could get a job if you were looking for a job or anything like that. And then in the far back, there is a hallway that looks as though it's for rooms of some sort, like you could stay there.
All right. He starts heading over to the bartender or the barkeep.
Yeah, you walk over to the barkeep, and he's washing a dish, and he's like, "Oh, what can I do you for?" And he puts the dish over off to the side.
This is what's the name of the town again?
Liftville.
Liftville.
Yeah, that's where you're at. That's what the sign said when you entered, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think I'd enjoy a room.
Oh, let me just talk to my boss. He'll handle that for you. Another gentleman, the one that was writing something down, kind of turns, and they talk together, and you can hear them a little bit, and he walks over and says, "Oh, you're looking for a room. How many nights?"
Just 2 for now.
And yourself, that's it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we can hold you up. 10 silver will do.
The funny thing is, I don't actually start with any. Oh wait, I do think I actually start with 50 gold. Yeah, because I'm noble.
Nice.
So, or it's something like that. I remember. Sorry. So I do basically hand him 10 silver.
He takes the silver, and he hands over like a little key with a chain that has a number on it, presumably your room. And we're gonna move on to our next person as you are standing at the bar grabbing your keys. We're gonna go to Caitlin, who's also playing Caitlin. Caitlin, tell us
Last name's a bit different from my real last name.
Honestly, I just think that your last name is solid anyway.
Thank you.
Caitlin, tell us a little bit about what Caitlin looks like.
Well, hailing from the Arctic, Caitlin's a bit roughed up, you know? Bit grizzled. I know I didn't add in my beard or anything like that, but just imagine I have some. I also have a mullet, kind of decked out in a bit of camo, have my tiger stripes on. I'm also smoking a cigar, but I don't own any, so just, you know, it's like the opposite of cosplay. It's just like make believe. I don't really look too happy or too disgruntled, you know? I'm just always kind of deep in thought, always questioning things, you know? A town. Huh. A barkeep. A message board. Huh.
I love it. You're always questioning things.
Yeah.
And what class are you?
I'm a rogue. I decided to go with assassin for my subclass.
Have you assassinated a lot of people? Is that kind of like your job?
It's not really my job, but sometimes I just feel this thing inside me controlling me. It's kind of like a lot of like many things, and it just like pushes me in certain directions.
Is this like a possession of some sort, or is it a passion?
No, it's almost like I can feel it in my blood.
Something's in your blood. Well,
Yeah,
what
it's
is
what it feels
what
like.
caused that?
I don't know. I don't really know what exactly my origin is. I have no father and no mother. It's almost as if at some point in my life, I just sprung into existence, and some kind of like multi-machine was inserted into my blood, and now it controls me.
Okay. I love it. Is your character male or female? Just so I know for
my character's
pronouns. What?
My character's male.
Okay.
You can just call me Caitlin, though.
Okay, cool. Anything else that you want to share with us?
Yeah, I guess just getting back to Assassin, I'm trained mostly in the basics of CQC, so close quarter combat. My favorite way to assassinate when I do have to is to sneak up behind an enemy and then employ some of that CQC. I'm also a master of disguise. I would like to buy a disguise kit at the start of the adventure.
Okay.
My disguise of choice is... I don't know. Do we have any like cardboard boxes laying around?
Actually, you find in your inventory, and you want to write this down for me, and you're going to thank, I believe we have somebody to thank for this. 1 second. Enjoris! This is due to you. You have a small little like square container in your pocket or in your pack, adventure pack or whatever. And whenever you activate this, it can become a magical box of invisibility. It can only hold one person, one creature of medium size, but you can choose to deploy it at any time once per day by hitting a button on it. So it's like a little square container. So I don't know if you just want to write in your character sheet that you have a square cube of invisibility, and it is once per day. You can use this to create a small box that will give invisibility to one medium creature.
Wow, just a box. That's so... How did Enjoris know? That's what I would have wanted.
So thank you, Enjoris. Well, he donated for a magic item, or she. I just think that's perfectly fitting for your character. So thank you, Enjoris, for helping the kids at St Jude and also giving Caitlin an amazing box. It's actually perfect for her character. Awesome. So you've actually probably slowly made it into town, and you kind of saw the same things that Balak saw as you entered. Everything's kind of... It looks like the town is kind of picking itself up slowly. And I would say that your travel was roughly 4 days from here, from the place that you used to live. Well, you're not really sure if that's where you lived.
Well, I don't know. See, here's the thing. I grew up in the Arctic raising dogs, Maggie. I used to raise sled dogs. I was a musher, actually. Then I went down to the jungles. And so I've been doing a lot of reconnaissance work in the jungles. So I know where I've been recently. Yeah, maybe like 4 days travel. I don't want to overshadow one of my party members, like 12-day journey or anything like that. So
yeah, 4 days. Sure, we'll say 4-day travel. Oddly, the reason why it was only 4 days is because you went through a portal of some sort, and that is where you ended up. Of course, you totally meant to be there. You were taking that portal for sure because you wanted to, and things have been weird as you've been entering that portal, and you saw kind of like very similar things to Balak. And as you're getting closer and closer to the town, weirder and weirder things are happening. Now you enter the inn as well as everybody else, and you look over at the bar, and you're like, oh, a bar. You look over at the people sitting on their chairs, and you're like, oh, there's tables. And then you look over at the message board. Oh, there's a message board. You look back, and you see that possibly there might be rooms. And that is kind of what you're seeing as you're entering and you're standing in the doorway. Now we're going to go over to our final member.
If a fire like erupts and I have to leave, I know that you can perfectly take over my character, Maggie.
Totally.
You'll fill in for me.
Oh yeah, totally. I got you. But before we move over to our last character that we're going to introduce, why don't you roll me a 1d10,000s, Caitlin?
Just one.
Wow.
So does that mean I get a 1?
No, you're rolling me 2. So you're rolling me a 1d10,000 and then another 1d10,000.
So do I have to use
We're
my
upping the stakes here.
Do I have to use my nat 1 on this?
I normally use natty ones and stuff for like the rolls in the game, but you could use your natty 1 for this. No one's done that before. That would be amazing.
I don't know what's on 1. All right, I'm looking at chat.
The beauty of it is not knowing.
Yeah.
We don't know whether we should be afraid of higher or lower numbers.
I'll just roll both of these ones.
You're gonna roll them? Oh damn! I looked at what number the 1 is, and it's pretty great. So,
wait, someone said actually yes, do it.
It's up to you. You already rolled them, so you rolled 1. You're gonna roll 1 more, but you could use your 1 if you want.
I'm gonna use it.
Okay. Oh gosh. I'm gonna RP that in a moment. I gotta keep track of how many I've rolled. So, Werewolf, you rolled 1, right? And Caitlin, you rolled 2 now. So we got a lot to make up for, so I just want to make sure. Yeah, Caitlin. As Caitlin stands there, sorry, what was going on, Werewolf?
Just going to point out she rolled a 1d1000.
Oh, it's got to be a 1d10,000, not a 1d1000.
Maybe roll the other one.
Yeah. And thank you, Erwin Rippentrop, for the subscription. Welcome to the Space Vikings. If you're interested in playing Dungeons & Dragons as well, be sure to click that Discord link and let someone with a blue name know that you're interested, and they will get you flagged so you can join up with us in the future. Cool. Did you roll a 1d10? That's cool. Caitlin, as you stand there, you look down. Are you wearing like combat boots or something, I'm guessing? Something of that sort?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, he looks down at his boots, and one of your legs is turning to stone. And then your right arm, also starts turning to stone. And it's heavy.
Nano machines?
You're strong, but you're able to carry on. Currently, it says half of the caster's body turns to stone, but I'm just gonna say your leg and arm are, because that'll get real complicated real fast.
And opposite sides.
And then the next thing is the 4,965, which I will get to in a moment.
I actually imagine it's just one side of your body. It's just your right side, so that people can ask, so your right side is made of stone, but what's left?
Oh, that is pretty good. Totally meant that to happen. The next thing that happens is... this is kind of awesome. You now, write this down in your feats, you have the ability to cast light from your eyes, but when you're doing this, you're blind. So write this down as a feature. Can cast light from eyes, but while doing so is blind. That's pretty crazy. Cool. Now you stand there in the doorway and your leg starts becoming stone and your arm starts becoming stone, and we're gonna pass on over to meet our last and final character. Derp Digital, tell us a little bit about what Varys looks like.
Right, so trudging through the mud is Varys Meliamne. He is a wood elf, actually, and he happens to be a ranger, or a hunter specifically. He's wearing a cloak, but under that he's got some leather armor, mostly of his own make. There's some like scratches in it and stuff. Like, it looks like he's been able to maintain it himself by like what he's caught and skinned. And his skin is kind of copperish, but there's some hints of green in there, which is, perfect for the woodlands that he came from. he decided to set out at some point because, well, his tribe and stuff in the forest back home was nice, but he wanted to see the world a little bit, so he decided to travel. And eventually, during one of his many travels, when he was in an inn taking like a rest from all the hunting he's done, trying to sell some of the skins, he heard some strange tales coming from this place, and he decided that that would be a good place to see if he could have some fun there.
Oh, so he's looking for fun and exploration.
Yeah, he wants to
Oh.
see the world.
I wonder if he's gonna think the same way at the end of it all. So,
We'll see.
so Varys is interested in fun and exploration. What does Varys find fun?
He just likes seeing nature and different terrains, like a waterfall. He just likes sitting there for a while, being in touch with nature. And he does love the thrill of the hunt as well, to a degree.
Okay. Do you have any family?
He's probably got an elven mother back home that he likes to write to occasionally. Hasn't heard
Aw.
from his father in a long time. No
Oh.
siblings. He's the only one. And
Why
when
haven't
he
you heard
turned
from your
100,
father?
He went missing one day. We still don't know what happened. He's
Hmm.
kind of hoping that while he's out there and trying to like discover things in the world, that he might pick up a trace. But he also just
Tell
wants
me
to see
some
the
things
sights
about your
and-
father then. What kind of person was your father? What kind of trace would you find about your father?
He was a natural leader, but he was also very, very protective of nature. So that's why he's kind of come to this place to like try and hope, because there's a lot of weird stuff going on here with the forest. So he's kind of hoping that his father might have had something to do with trying to stop that or something in that way. And he's going out on a limb, but you never know. It's a good reason to travel.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Varys, you have been hunting creatures. There have been some interesting wolf creatures that you've encountered along the way. And you found out that there are werewolves. You've killed
Ooh.
one of them, but in the process you also have found their den that seems kind of empty. You followed the trail, and it seems as though whoever had killed these werewolves did it on purpose. And it's probably for the good in your mind, but they didn't really leave a trace other than the trace leads back to this town, which is Flippedville. As you've been journeying along, you have seen a lot of other weird things, as the other group has. Your journey has been many, many months because you have been traveling and you haven't really stopped, right? Like you left your homeland and you just keep going. You're traveling, you're looking, you stay where you want to. Sometimes you see cool things, sometimes you don't see cool things, and you continue along on your way. But this place is probably the most interesting because everything has been very different as you've been coming into encountering it all. Along the way, you've also gotten trails and tracks of other creatures and, of course, people who have been following the road. And as you enter the town, you see the same thing. You see this sign that doesn't look like it's well kept. At least the grass around it hasn't been. And a stable to the left, as well as you can continue moving forward and go to the inn if you do so wish. Otherwise, you can explore the other parts of town. It's kind of up to you.
He would probably make his way towards the inn. The whole werewolf den and it being empty, that's kind of piqued his interest.
Okay. Maybe ask some people around. The inn is always a good place to get information. Yeah, as you go to walk into the front door, there's actually someone standing in the doorway already. It seems that they're a little befuddled and they're looking down at their leg and arm and being like, oh, my leg. My arm." You guys can RP all you want. This person's like in the way of the doorway. They're about 7'1", and they've made it all the way in, but they're holding up the door, and you're kind of like trying to get into the door.
I'm also talking to myself. It seems like I'm talking to someone on comms, but like I'm pretty sure those don't exist in this world. So
No,
I'm just,
they do not exist in this world necessarily.
God. What do I do? Is anyone out there? Oh my
At this
god.
point, you kind of feel a hand on like your right hand shoulder, and it's just. Excuse
As you
me,
put your
friend."
hand on there, Derp, roll me a 1d10,000.
All right, let's get crazy.
Am I contagious, by the way? If someone touches my stone, do they
No.
start turning stone? Okay.
Oh, good.
Let me see what that is before you say your last words, but you put your hand on her. Which is great, because if it's something that, like, when you touch something, that means it also will happen. So 4,036. 4,036. Oh, interesting. I don't think I should tell you what it is.
Oh, good.
Okay. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but there's something now pursuing you.
Oh, that's fun.
Because they think that you're pursuing them.
Is that contagious?
No, that's not contagious.
Okay. So if it
I mean,
shows up for him, it won't go for me?
No. It's
Okay.
just specifically looking for his character.
Okay.
I can actually tell you. I won't keep it a secret. We'll go forward with it. I think it's fun to like keep it to myself, but I think it might be fun to just tell you. There is a red dragon that believes that you are pursuing her.
Marvelous. Yeah, give me like 17 levels and I might actually do that.
Well, in 17 levels, you might encounter a dragon.
Well, if you need any help, I can shoot light out of my eyes.
Yeah, let me know when you can shoot it out of your butt, then I'll be impressed.
I do have a butt that is spoken about all around these lands, but half of it might be stone, so...
You guys can continue RPing. You put your hand on his shoulder.
A hand!
Yes, excuse me. I need to pass. Do I notice like the stone arm and
Yeah, you are touching like maybe their left arm as you're trying to like scooch in between them. But yeah, they're looking down and their left leg and their did I say right? Like yeah, their left leg and their right or their whatever your arm and your leg are turned to stone. Whichever
Oh,
one you
dear.
want it to be. Is it left? Say yeah, it's all the left side.
You wish to pass?
yes, it does seem like the travels weigh heavily on you, but I do need to pass.
Well, I don't know what's going on right now. It's just stone out of nowhere, a hand out of nowhere? Well, that's your hand.
Yes, don't worry about that.
No, of course not. Well, if you can get past my glutes, by all means try.
Do I need to make like an athletics check or something? Just like
Yeah,
wiggle?
if Caitlin is not gonna move, you guys can both do opposing athletics or acrobatics. You can either use athletics or acrobatics, I'll say either. It depends on your
So
character.
do we both 91 fail at that immediately then?
No, I already used mine.
Oh. In
that was
case-
really cute. Oh.
So I have my like combo athletics thing for being a rogue and then choosing it. So will it automatically do it?
If you have it checked, then yes.
But I also have like the rogue stuff where fudge, what's it called? You know when you like take the thing? Your expertise?
Yeah, expertise would be make sure
Or,
you
like,
just check
double-
it. But if you're also trained, that's kind of what expertise is. So you got a plus
Oh, I
4.
saw that.
That seems about right. You're level 3.
Right, so I automatically fail because 91.
Even though Caitlin rolled a 6, so it's kind of like this really. It's like, you know when people catfight. It's like you go to like kind of are you using what were you using, athletics or acrobatics?
Athletics.
Yeah, you kind of like try to just force your way through by like pure strength, and you kind of push her, like try to push her, but like as you try to push her, she just like doesn't really move, and she just kind of like slaps your hand, and then like you're like, oh, and so nothing happens. She basically slaps your hand as you try to like push her out of the way.
I do need to pass, so I would prefer it if you moved out of the way.
I can't. Don't you see? I'm turning to stone. What is this? No one's picking up. Is anyone out there?
I don't know who you're trying to reach, but it doesn't seem like you have any reception out here.
Oh, God. That must be it. I don't know. My dogs aren't here. My comms aren't working. That hand's still there? Oh my God.
I take my hand off at this point.
Okay.
I don't think I can move. Like
Yeah, you could move.
Okay.
Basically, you would like pick your leg up, move it, walk. Like you can still move. It's very heavy.
all right. If you help me, maybe we can move over to the bar. Just lift my glutes up with me, one after another.
I will
Right
give you
here.
a helping hand.
Right here.
Okay.
Let's go.
You both go. You go down and you try to help him like move his leg, and you kind of like wobble your way to the table, or wobble your way to the bar. And actually, there's another pert fellow at the bar right now as well, who's holding a key that looks like it's a room key, and is standing there in front of the bar as well. And that is Balak. Now, will all of you roll me a 1d10,000? Include like every one of you, even Baz.
Can I get a blue dragon this time? I want to.
You want all the dragons to look for you?
I might as well go all the way now.
Still owe so many more magic. You guys did crazy amounts of wild magic. This is gonna be madness.
26.
Oh, someone got a 9,000. All right, let's start with the 9,000. That's a lot. 9,626. No, notably, the higher numbers are always the more dangerous. Just so you guys know, if you're kind of new to this. 9,626.
Oh, it's me. I did that one.
126. That is
Can we
Caitlin.
swap our numbers around?
What'd you say?
Can we swap our numbers around? Anyone want to trade with me?
No, you can't swap your numbers around. Caitlin, the nearest pond flows in a steady counterclockwise current. There's a pond that's going the opposite way than it should be. We're
And
gonna
you
go.
want me to name it?
You can if you want to name it, sure.
Is that the same pond that has the super pressure from last time?
Oh yeah, it has like this spout that's just like flying from it up in the air at the
That
same
is a
time.
dangerous pond.
Yeah, I don't wish that upon anybody. To the next thing is 7,651 because we'll start from the top. 651. Okay. Target's shadow is afraid of the dark. Interesting. So, Balak, anytime there's a shadow, or anytime your shadow would normally appear, actually, because this room is dimly lit, I mean, there's a bit of light. There might be kind of a shadow because it's kind of evening right now. Your shadow is kind of moving around, and it's a little bit odd. And anyone that has a high enough perception can probably notice this. But most people are kind of eating their meals and not really paying attention. Varys, we're going to do yours next. 6,707. 6,707. Ooh, Varys. Your house back home, out in the Elven Forest, has hot and cold running water, but no sink. You just have like a little, I'm imagining, because you're an elf, you have like this little leaf, but it's like a magical leaf that can make like hot and cold water. It's just chilling at home.
We have quality plumbing.
And last but not least is gonna be Baz. Man, this is like a low number. I don't think we've ever gotten such low numbers. 46. Ooh. Write this down as a character's feature.
All right.
Whenever you lie, a small mouse crawls out of your mouth.
Oh, well, all right.
That's gonna be interesting. Next time you try to roll a deception or something like that.
So we have unlimited sources of food? That's pretty good.
If you just keep lying, I suppose.
Oh, man, I don't even have to go out and hunt anymore.
Yeah, so coming back into painting the story here, we have Varys helping Caitlin move his leg as he's trying to like mully his way over to the bar. And as you guys get to the bar, there is a fellow already standing at the bar named Balak. You don't know his name, but there is a fellow standing at the bar. He's standing there and he's holding a set of keys.
Sorry, Maggie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm having a problem, and I kind of need to run off for a bit.
Okay.
I'm terribly sorry about this.
I don't know if you can leave the camera and just run off. And you can
I'll just
be...
stop the video and.
Oh, if you stop the
So-
video, it messes up all the stuff, which means we need to go to a break. But if you can just like leave the camera running and go, then that would be cool. That's cool. I don't know what you have going on. If you're gonna return. Actually, you don't see Balak. Oh, well, you see him. He grabs his keys and he actually gets up and he heads off to what you can assume is a bedroom of some sort.
The man has left. He's gone. All right, put me at the seat in front of this bar. Put me down here.
All right, sure. You just need to come on, just wiggle a little bit more. Almost there.
All right. Just sit me down here.
All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Hinge.
Yeah.
Alright,
You're up on the stool now, and you're standing at the bar. One of the bar keeps comes over, and he's like, "What can I do you for?"
Don't suppose you have a chisel?
Did you say a chisel?
yeah, a chisel?
Boz has just been eating soup, watching this whole thing happen.
Yeah, you have. You can step in at any point if you'd like to as well.
Oh no, he's just watching whatever's happening right now.
You're like,
entertainment.
this is the least interesting thing. When I first went into the sin, it was very different.
I'd asked for a bowl, but I'm too stoned.
The barkeep laughs at that as he sees your arm that you've plopped on the table is made out of stone, and kind of points over to it and is like, "What happened to your arm?"
I don't know. I was hoping that you know the answer to that.
Why would I know what happened to your arm?
Well, it happened when I walked into your bar. This is your bar, right?
No, it's his bar. And he kind of points over to somebody who's standing over to the side, writing something down.
All right, well, ask him. I don't know.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. This is a bar.
I mean-
He's not a mason.
He didn't do this to you. He's not, like, magical or anything like that.
Someone did it to me. Was it you? I just, look at the hand and I follow it up. What's your character's name, Derp?
Varys.
Varys. I followed up to Varys' face.
Yes, clearly I want to turn you into a pretty statue.
I knew it.
He just kind of shakes his head.
Anyways, can I get you guys anything?
Yes, actually, I was wondering if you could tell me something about werewolves in the area.
Werewolves? Yeah, there were some people talking about that. I think they might all have gone in to bed, but there's a group of them. They hunted them down. They said they got rid of them. Did you find more? Are there more out there?
I encountered one, which led me to track it, and I stumbled upon a lair. It was empty, and the tracks led back to here, so...
Yeah,
I
maybe
figured
they
this would
did.
be a good place to inquire.
Maybe
Tracking?
they did take care of them.
Did you mention tracking?
Yes.
You know, I'm well known for tracking lots of things. Animals, enemies, other things too.
Right, well, let's say that you're currently, and you're not going to be going anywhere.
Well,
As
with
you say
your
that,
help, I could
all
be.
of you roll me a 1d10,000 again. And
Come on, dragons.
someone else roll an extra one and tell me what the first one or second one. The second one will be the one for werewolf. Who wants to roll the extra one?
I'll do it.
All right.
Well, I rolled 2. But you can take
Oh,
this.
yeah, you did. Okay.
No,
Never
let's-
mind then.
Whichever one's
All right.
better.
And this is still the continuation of Nate 2150s. We were quite behind on these. There's a lot. I think there's like 11 to start off with. So first is going to be gosh, we probably should have typed something in chat. Who rolled first?
The first roll is a
The
256.
256 by Caitlin. All right, 256. All right, Caitlin. You write this down as a feature of your character. When you die, you are resurrected, but you continue to decay.
Ooh.
That's cool.
Such
So
rotten
fitting for my
luck.
character's backstory.
It's pretty cool. And then we'll do Baz's next, which is 6,046. Baz. Ooh, this is kind of cool. Use target saves versus petrify on petrifies or petrifies on seeing his reflection. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's my. Wait, do I do that or do I cast that on someone?
Target saves versus petrify. So if you get if someone tries to petrify you, you save. Or petrifies on seeing his reflection. So you will also petrify if you see your reflection.
Oh, well,
I hope you don't intend on brushing your teeth anytime soon.
Yeah, so write that down as a feature that if you are like immune to petrify, but if you see your reflection, you are petrified. Oh man, that sucks. But
That
it's
does.
curable. Being petrified is curable.